So now that we've created our alternate 4,000 HSA base plan group, it's time to move on to building out some additional proposed options. And really what this is going to reinforce is the idea of proposed plans now being more than just different benefits. And similar to how we looked at having different scenarios just with the renewal plans based on contribution strategy, now we're going to introduce the idea of how we can have proposed options that might be the same medical plan, but with different HRA or HSA funding attached to them. So the key is we really need to think through what a proposed option looks like. And we really need a proposed option to really start any of the conversations we want to have with the employer. And the key word being start, because we're always going to be able to make some real-time updates and see how everybody is impacted, but we need enough to get the conversation started. So the idea is that we're introducing this 4,000 HSA base plan, and we've used all the budget dollars in the first scenario to make the premium as low cost to the employees as possible. But now we want to introduce a conversation around the idea that we can take some of those employer dollars and use them to fund their health savings accounts rather than just use all of the dollars to go towards premium share. So I want a proposed group to be able to illustrate that. So that's going to introduce us to probably the biggest shortcut you're going to use in Dynamis. And you're going to use this a lot both in preparing scenarios in anticipation of the meeting, and also when we're live with the employer and they're asking those what if questions. So the idea is rather than going in and making changes to groups we've already built, we're going to be able to build a copy of that group and make our changes in there. That way we leave the original plan group, but we're still creating that variation. So just like we can copy plan designs from one group to another, we can also copy an entire plan group. So here's our alternate 4,000 HSA base plan, and I'm going to come to our plan group options and choose copy. And as soon as I do that, I get a copy of our plans that are in our alternate 4,000 HSA base plan. All right, now if we look here, occasionally on the copy, the order might get mixed up, but we can always drag them into whatever order we want. So I'm going to maintain that 4,000 HSA plan, make sure that's the first plan design in our plan group. Now, when you make a copy of a plan group, notice you get copy of proposed as the plan group name. So it's very clear that was created by the copy of another group. The key is that we want to get in the habit when we make copies of plan groups of making the name change right away so that we can put an identifier on there to make sure we know what we're building out. So in this case, we want to build out a proposed option that introduces HSA funding. So I'm going to come over to our plan group options, go to rename plan group, and now I'm going to call this 4,000 HSA base with employer funding. So now I have a plan group that indicates we are going to be working with employer funding on the HSA. And now I can go in and make those adjustments, but still leave our original plan group intact. So once again, copying a plan group is a shortcut we're going to use a lot when we want to show variations of plan groups we've already created using different premium share or different funding strategies.